Okay, we've now reached the entrance to the main Guildford cemetery on the mount. As you can see, it lists Lewis Carroll's grave as being here. So here we go. I'm obviously a bit puffed because I've just walked up a very steep hill called the Mount. Lewis Carroll's grave is just ahead. You'll notice the marker sign. There's an interesting story behind this. This marker sign wasn't here until the marker signs I got placed around Edward Carpenter's grave were also put in place. The local council decided that our campaign to get Edward Carpenter's grave recognised through signage would only be done if we could do the same for Lewis Carroll. Sorry guys, I'm finding out how to breathe about it. So this was a kind of compromise that was negotiated in the Guildford Borough Council chambers. There's a close-up. Because of the lack of signage, the first time I came looking for Edward Carpenter's grave, I spent most of my time looking around at this old part of the cemetery, which took about a couple of hours. It was because of that I needed to get some signs put up for Edward Carpenter as well, because Carpenter is buried in the new part of the cemetery. I became familiar with the name of Edward Carpenter through my readings of English literature, people like E.M. Forster, but also my interest in the composer Rutland Boughton. Boughton, of course, wrote several songs set to poems by Edward Carpenter. And so, sometime during the early 90s, I managed to get hold of a copy of Towards Democracy, the copy published by the Gay Men's Press, which was pretty much the only copy available at that time. The book contained an interesting introduction by Gilbert Beath, in which he mentioned that Edward Carpenter had died in Guildford, which was interesting. I then wrote to the local newspaper asking for more details as to where he was buried, and I was told he was buried in the Mount Cemetery. I got a reply from Ron Burgess, who was a former mayor of Guildford and also an active Carpenter campaigner, and he replied in the Surrey ad that the grave was on the Mount Cemetery, and so I came up here looking for it. Up ahead we can see some more of the Dodgson family graves that the county council, I think Guildford Borough Council, decided to put signposts on as well. So having spent 2 hours looking around trying to find the grave by myself, I then wrote back to the Surrey ad suggesting, asking if there'd be interest in declaring an interest in getting the grave officially recognised. Sort of like, as I say, put a signpost up or something to mark it out, as Lewis Carroll's name was pretty much associated with Guildford in the first place, and I couldn't see why Edward Carpenter, who was also a massive influence at the time, should not be recognised in the same way. In response, I got replies from Ron Burgess again, who was very, very excited about the prospect, and also from one of Carpenter's great nieces. In fact, through the course of this, I met 3 generations of Carpenter's nieces. Sadly, 2 of them are no longer with us, but I think the younger one is somewhere in New Zealand still. So we all got together. I think it was some anniversary or other coming up. There was the 150th anniversary, I think it was. So I'm doing all this in a hoof, so my memory isn't perfect. I think it was about 1994, 1995, I think. I'll probably post the facts up when I get home. But yeah, we got together a massive campaign, and we got everybody involved, local friends, to Mo Molam, the Gay Men's Press, got involved, and we started lobbying various people. And Ron was already on the council anyway, because he was a former mayor, and so he had some swing, so he was negotiating these issues with the borough council. Apparently they were sort of not very happy about this pervert being recognised in Guildford, because it bring the tone of the town down, which is why they compromised about getting Lewis Carroll's grave signposted as well. So here we are. This is the newer version of the marker sign we got erected. The first one was a finger post which stood across there, but that's been gone for 20 odd years now, I think, something like that. But and this is where we come across. The date of the anniversary, a group of us carried out a pilgrimage here, including his nieces, and Sheila Rowbotham came out, and this is always nice to see. Somebody's left a couple of photographs here. The epitaph was the final paragraph of a eulogy that Carpenter wished to be read over his grave when he was buried. Apparently this wasn't possible. In fact, from what I understand, the original grave here was just a wooden signpost. On the anniversary meeting we came over here, Ron Burgess actually read the full eulogy and sort of brought it home, as it were. Yes. I was sort of very happy that we all managed to get this pretty significant figure recognised in this way.